Hi, so no comic review this week. In fact, my comic reviews are becoming less because I'm getting less every week now. So it just seems a bit redundant to do 8 or 9 issues a week. So what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to go to my comic shop as often, because I'm getting more graphic novels and comics at present. So I'm going to do like my comic reviews every 2 weeks or even every 4 weeks, depending on how many I get. Because I don't want my comic channel just to be comic reviews all the time. I get much more enjoyment about discussing my favourite books, doing unhauls of graphic novels and manga that I've bought, recommending manga, recommending DC Finest or other books that I think might be of interest, and doing deep dives into things like 2000 AD. So I'll be focusing more on that. I'll still be doing comic reviews, but like I said, they'll be coming out less than they were originally. So this episode of No Comics, the only thing I've got recently, which came today, was Superman Rise of the Woman. So this is the start of the all-in Superman. Really good, 192 pages. Get all the um, variant covers in the back. Only $19.99. I got it from the Bezos site. It cost me about £11, £12. I compared it to a Marvel one. It's not so much Marvel. Well, it is, but the quality and the price is much better than what you get from Marvel. Yeah, highly recommend it. It's got gorgeous Dan Mora artwork. I did have the first issue in floppy, but I've decided to get Superman in just trade paperback format. But I am getting Superman Unlimited and Action Comics in comic format still. So that's all I've got this weekend for comics wise. But what I wanted to do tonight is just something a bit of fun, and it's something that maybe can contribute to yourself in the comments in the comment box. Can't you tell I don't use a script? So what I wanted to do was list my 5 comics from Marvel that I wish they'd do, like my dream comics that I wish they could bring back, and my 5 dream comics from DC. And as a Brucey bonus, if you're from England of a certain age, you know what I mean with that. Um, my 5 independent comics that I'd love to see come back. So for Marvel, not in any particular order, but first of all, Defenders. And by Defenders, I mean the classic team of Silver Surfer, Hulk, and Doctor Strange. But I'd also like to throw in some of the cool 70s ones, like was it Nighthawk and Valkyrie and Gargoyle. So have that classic mismatch of the 70s and 80s Defenders. Have somebody like Gian DeMatteis or Alex Pagnadel write it. I would love that. Artist, there's a, can't say with artists in Marvel because they've not got many good artists at the moment, so I don't know. Um, let's see. No, I can't. I don't know. Somebody who's good doing a bit of a horror kind of thing. Cal Hotz, he'd be good. And for number 2, Invaders. I'd love for the Invaders to come back. I would love to be a good, not the Invaders set in modern days, but like the classic Roy Thomas kind of period of Invaders, where it's the Second World War. Um, yeah, I would love for Invaders. Philip Kennedy Johnson would be chef's kiss for doing the Invaders, a nice war set superhero comic. And then number 3, we need to bring back the Marvel Max range, so having something a bit more adult. And if done right, you can't get more adult than Hellstrom or Son of Satan. Really push the boundaries of horror, supernatural horror. And then number 4 for Marvel would be Alpha Flight. And get Chip Zdarsky to do Alpha Flight. Get somebody who's Canadian to do Alpha Flight. Yeah, we need Alpha Flight. And then number 5 would be I'm going to go for something really, really obscure. And I might be the only person who's a real fan of this character, and it's Wood God. I would love for Wood God to come back. I don't know why, but it's one comic character I've always really crushed on, even though they've only like 2 issues, if that. It was a Keith Giffen and Bill Mantlo creation, I think, but there's just something gloriously odd about it. Um, but saying that, for number 5, what I'd like for them to do is bring back something like from what Wood God came from, is like the Marvel Premiere comic, where they did 3 issues with a certain character and 3 issues with a different one. And someone calls kind of like a joke in number 5. My true number 5 would be Deathlock. I would love Deathlock to come back because there's so much you can do with that character, and he's just becoming like a really cool guest star in a lot of comics now. I'd love for him to have his own ongoing comic. So that's my 5 Marvel. But the biggest thing I'd love from Marvel of all, do ongoing comics. Don't just stop at 10 issues. Okay, mini rant's over. So we're on to DC. See, I was being nice at the start of Marvel for the first time. DC, I would go for Firestorm. I love Firestorm. One of the most unique and fun comics. Just the whole concept of 2 people inhabiting one body. Yeah, bring back Firestorm. I can't think of a writer at the moment. Let's just see. So it needs to be somebody who's quite Jonathan Hickman. Jonathan Hickman on Firestorm. How's that for a bit of a radical change? And then number 2, I'd like a supernatural group book, but not Justice League Dark. Bring back Night Force. Can't get Gene Colan, unfortunately, but get Tom Mandrake on the artwork. I'd dream I'd like, but I don't know how much writing he does now. But I'd love Mark Wolfman to come on. If not, somebody else who's good at horror. Um, Mine's drawing a blank at the moment. And the James Tiny in the third, fourth even, not his brother, but James Tiny in the fourth. Yeah, get him on it. So Night Force will be my next one. My third team book, it's got to be Legion of Superheroes. I am gagging for a new Legion of Superheroes comic. Yeah, I mean, I'd love for Keith Gibbons to come back, but I can't resurrect the dead. But yeah, get a good Legion of Superheroes team book. And then number 4, we need a buddy comic. 2 great friends, Blue and Gold, Blue Beetle, Booster Gold. Getting them back. Get Dan Jurgens writing it. I'd be happy if you drew it, but if you can't, just get somebody equally good. And then my final one. See, this isn't scripted, so you got to bear with me. I've got to get my brave hearts cleared out of the way so I can think. What would I do for number 5? So much. I think for number 5, bring back the Omega Men, but not Tom King's version of the Omega Men, but the classic old school Omega Men where Lobo came from, where you had like, ideally get Sean McManus on the artwork, or failing that, but this would be even more of a wider grab. Um, Daniel Warren Johnson on the artwork. Get Daniel Warren Johnson to write it. They were like the best ultimate oddballs in space sci-fi comics. So yeah, Omega Men. Or I had a floaty like number 6 kind of for Marvel one, so I'm going to do that for DC as well. Another one I would like, but it's not going to happen, is Sword of the Atom. Resurrect Sword of the Atom. So not Everyday Atom, but Sword of the Atom, where it's that sort of sorcery meets superhero comic. Yeah, Gil Kane. Yeah, I'd love that, but we can't get Gil Kane. But yeah, Sword of the Atom. So that's my floaty number 6. So on to Independence. First up, without even thinking about it, Elementals. If you've never read Elementals, you've missed out on one of the greatest hidden treasures of 80s superhero comics, which came out from Comico, and it was created by Bill Willingham. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful superhero team. Number 2, Tim Truman Scouts, bring that back. Number 3, get Howard Chaykin to resurrect American Flag. Number 4, it's so much easier with the Independents because that was my jam. My jam. Who am I? Who am I? I don't say stuff like that. Number 4, bring back Concrete. We need more Concrete by Paul Chadwick. One of the most heartwarming comics that's ever been created. And let's do a deep dive for number 5. Whisper. It was created by Stephen Grant. It came out initially. I can't remember the company who had it initially, but then I know first it ran with it for ages. It was one of the best. It was how Elektra should have been. It was one of the coolest assassins in comics. Just a really, really cool comic, especially when the artist Spider came on. fantastic, fantastic series. So that's my 5. So like with the other two, I had a floaty number 6. So let's think of a floaty number 6 for the Independents. And for the floaty number 6 for the Independents, I'm going to go with Markovenia's DNA Agents. That's like the closest Independence comics have come to the new Teen Titans. It's a really fun comic. There's so much they could still do with that comic. So yeah, DNA Agents. So that's my 5 and the floating number 1s for each one. So what would your dream comics to bring back be? Put it in the comments. Just like I said, just a little fun thing that I thought might be a bit of fun to do on. Because like I said, there's not going to be any reviews for comics this week. I might do one tomorrow because I'm picking up a special issue of 2000 AD. Hopefully tomorrow. I'm not picking up my normal comics list though for about 2 weeks. So it could even 3 weeks. It won't be this week or the weekend after. It'll be the weekend after that. So hopefully I'll have quite a nice bit of a handful. I'll have about 18 or 20 odd comics then, so I can do a really good review. But like I said, I'll be doing less of those. I'll be doing more like graphic novel reviews, more recommendations, more deep dives into different things, different topics. Okay, so hope you enjoy that bit of fun. But do let us know what your Dream 5 Marvel would be with your floating number 6. That sounds very dodgy. Your Dream 5 with floating number 6 DC. Dream 5 Independence with your floating number 6. I don't hope floating number 6 never catches on. That's really unfortunate, but I started with it and I just carried on, so do forgive me. Have a great weekend and bye.